every product that have millions amount of user in the day zero, they don't have that complex system design architecture. So today in this video I will be explaining how generally a system evolve with time when the user base actually grown. For the first, when you have an idea and you are doing the prototype, at that time what will you do? First you will be having only one EC2 instance, and in this EC2 instance itself you will be having your application server and your database. Now when the user base is growing, let's say 10, 20, 100,000, at that time instead of keeping all the thing in only one single EC2 instance or node, you will keep your application server in a different machine and your database in a different machine, as like the figure 2 of this given image. Now the next thing is, when the user base is again growing, at that time first we have to scale the application server. First we will think about vertical scaling, like I will be having a bigger machine, and after a certain point of time one machine will not be able to handle the whole load. At that time we have to think about, we will be having multiple instance of the machine. It is called horizontal scaling. And when I have multiple instance to divide the load, so we will be having a rate limiter in front of them. And now when the user is again growing, at that time a lot of repetitive request is coming. So for that reason we will be thinking about cache something like Redis, where repetitive request will, instead of doing all the computation for them, we will just fetch the value from the Redis itself. And the next thing is, now if you see there is any static image or any HTML page, instead of getting the request in the server itself, at that time we will think about some CDN kinds of concept, where the user request for static data will go to CDN instead of hitting the server. Now server is getting less number of requests. Now if you see, the bottleneck is actually the database. So database only have one replica. At that time we have to think about, there will be multiple read replica of the database. All the write request go to primary database, and read replica will serve all the read request. Now when the user base is again growing, at that time on different module we can divide it in microservice architecture.